what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it. LSU's offensive line did not do as bad physically as you think they did. In the run game, early on, it was a scheme issue. You wanted to run a lot of gap schemes. South Carolina knew that, and so their game plan was, we're going to move a ton up front, and if you're a linebacker, as soon as you see your gap blocked down, you shoot it. So LSU was getting stuck on these double teams where they're trying to block back, but guys are moving around. They can't climb to the second level, and so you just had linebackers basically free running on the running backs almost every run. So early on, that was a huge problem. Now, credit to LSU, they were like, okay, well let's do this, and let's go to zone, and let's just slow play it.
Yep.
And it's interesting because they're kind of not firing off the ball that much, but they don't have to because South Carolina is playing very lateral at that point because they're trying to defeat the gap schemes. So then you start zoning it, you start passing off, and that's when everything changed. Now, Caden Durham had to make the plays, and he did make the plays, and he's awesome. We're going to talk about Caden Durham. So in the run game, the offensive line, the problems, I would say, were more scheme-based, and they did a really good job, the staff and the players, of finding a critical change and implementing the change. In the pass game, a lot of it was mental. Now, there were times where you just got flat out beat. In fact, for the first time that I can ever really remember, Jake, Campbell did get beat 3 times in this game. Twice by Kennard with an up and in, and then once by 55 with a hand swipe.
Hand swipe, yep.
But these are not the plays you're thinking of. You're probably thinking of the 3rd and 10 sack, where that's not Campbell's fault. It looks like the O-line maybe had like a 5-0 call, whatever it is. They're all fanning out for the 5 guys on the line. Josh Williams also went out. All of a sudden, nobody's on the linebacker in the middle. So Campbell's got a speed rusher. He's running up the field, but now there's a free runner up the middle. Of course, Garrett gets flushed right into the pass rush. It wasn't a good pass rush. It was the offensive line equivalent of a busted coverage.
Yeah, the one where you lost 12 yards.
Yes,
now,
3rd and 10.
Did you agree that I think the linebacker kind of saw Williams not really either go out in the route or not really define his pass protection like he was going to be max protect, and he just it looked like a green dog to me.
I don't know what their rules are.
Right.
Again, there's something else that me and Cubes were talking about last night. He thinks that like you should play it inside out. I always felt, or I think what we were always taught was like, if he's mugged up, then we'll work inside out. Guard can step down. If he drops, he'll turn and go out.
I think it's on the back not defining what he was.
That's what I'm saying is like, if he's coming from depth, that has to be Josh Williams' guy.
Yes, because
I agree.
He has Josh in man.
Yes.
And as soon as Josh kind of got lost I don't know if he was trying to get out. I don't know if he was trying to max protect.
That's where it's like where they confused. Did he feel like he had the edge guy?
It felt like he did, but he didn't.
Yeah, maybe he was just going to chip or help.
And then Martin, I believe, was the linebacker that just like a bat out of hell. He's like, okay, I've got you, man. You're lost. I'm going to add myself to the blitz. And Garrett Nussmeier, as a quarterback, you have to trust your running back that he's going to pick up his protection if that guy comes. And if not, then he's getting out in the route. That backer has him man. You don't add him in your count. And that's something that has to get cleaned up as well.
Yeah,
the backs
that's a complete missed assignment.
Yes, the backs have to define, is it max protect? If they're not coming, get out. Get out into your route because your quarterback needs to count on you that guy's not coming, and also like that you're an option as far as the check down.
Yeah, well, and if he does green dog it, which is where, like Jake's talking about, the linebacker has a running back man. He sees he's blocking, so he says, okay, well, I'm not going to be wasted. I'm going to turn into a blitzer. If you get out on a route, well, then in theory, you're open. You're still going to probably, even on a 3rd and 10, the defense probably likes forcing you there, but you can still make a play.
Yeah.
With the ball in space. Even the 3rd and 1, Jake, before that, where his arm gets barely hit enough from behind for the ball to sail, that was between the running back and the O-line, where I think Williams got to be quicker on his scan. Kind of committed to the inside. He didn't get back out fast enough, and he ends up getting on Nuss's arm, and all of a sudden you're 3 and out.
So The running back rotation is one that I think you'll see a little bit different. I'm not just talking about Caden Durham, which we will certainly get to him because, my God, I've been calling for you got to get more than the play gives you, which he did, which we'll get to. But even on the broadcast, I didn't even mean to. It just kind of happened organically. I'm like, hey, they're falling into a tendency. Like from up here in the booth, I can tell which running back is in for what kind of play.
Yeah.
And that was in the first half. They did a really nice job of adjusting to that in the second half because then they mixed it up. But in the first half, it's like, all right, well, if Caleb Jackson's in the game, he's either free release or getting the ball. Josh Williams is your protector. He's going to be in there on third downs. He's either blocking or getting out into a route. Like those are the things that you try to fight against. I thought it was a nice in-game adjustment because in the first half, it was pretty easy to tell.
It's actually such a good point because I want to say, and they ended up getting the first down here, but on the 3rd and 6 in the final touchdown drive, you brought Josh Williams in, and then you actually ran the ball.
Yep.
So they were clearly trying to catch him unawares and break tendencies. Now I got to 4th and 3. You made the play on 4th and 3, but I hadn't connected the dots of breaking tendency. I knew it was like, oh, that's kind of an unexpected time to run the ball. You know you're going for it, smart. But I hadn't connected the dots of you're also breaking personnel at that point.
Yeah, you're because of Josh Williams being in there, the situation, you're thinking, okay.
It's a pass.
Yes. And then also, like you said, you're going for it, and so let's make it a more manageable, or we can bust it because remember, Caden Durham's first touchdown run, that was a 3rd and 9. It was a 3rd and 9 play. They ran the football, and he hits a 27-yard touchdown. So that's also you don't just break tendencies by your personnel. You can do it by your play calls as well. And the more you went along, the better it got. And when you're trying to figure out, when you have a running back by committee, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what does everybody do best? And also, how do we make sure we don't fall into those tendencies? And so I think the running back rotation is going to get cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah.
After what Caden Durham did, I think he is right now going to be your lead back, and then Josh Williams is going to kind of be that one that comes in there and, hey, I got to trust this guy, although he's got to continue to get better in that situation if he's going to be that guy. And then you're looking for more from Caleb Jackson right now.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.